After beating New Hampshire in 5 sets on Senior Night Sunday, the Bearcats now have won 5 straight matches and move into the top spot in the America East standings with 2 more matches before the end of the regular season. The win over New Hampshire earned 3 Bearcats weekly honors. Svetlana Ilyeva picking up her 6th Player of the Week nod this year. Lottie Scully getting her 3rd straight Setter of the Week honor. And Victoria Dimitrova earning her 2nd Rookie of the Week. The Bearcats hit the road to play Lehigh on Wednesday.